Yeah.
All right, well, it is 6 o'clock, so we will call the Independent School District 882 board meeting to order. With that, we need to do an approval of the agenda.
I move to approve the agenda.
Second, Jennifer.
Motion made by Melissa Curtis, second by Jennifer Lewis Canigator. All those in favor say aye by roll call. Melissa?
Aye.
Missy?
Aye.
Jennifer?
Aye.
Candy?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
And Jill, aye. Motion passes to approve the agenda 6-0. I don't believe we had any requests for citizens' comments.
We did not.
Okay, we'll continue on to the consent agenda. Board members, you have received your packets. If there are any questions or comments, you can do that now. Otherwise, it is an action item.
I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second, Jennifer.
Motion to approve the consent agenda by Melissa Curtis, second by Jennifer Lewis Canigator. All those in favor by roll call. Melissa?
Aye.
Missy?
Aye.
Jennifer?
Aye.
Candace? Jeff?
Aye.
And Jill, aye. Motion passes 6-0. Mr. Olson, we have a resolution for an acceptance of gifts. Mr. Olson, you're muted.
The Allina Health System has donated $500 to our Monticello High School to set up the Change to Chill room again at our Monticello High School. And this is, if you remember, we brought this in last year. Micaiah Lilyquist and Jacob Keller were driving forces in giving Monticello High School students a place to go when they just needed that little bit of time to catch themselves in the hustle and bustle and stress of school. They just felt like, they went out and found this program and really worked with administration to deliver a room that just got some nice features to bring that sense of calm. So very excited to be able to do this again and thank the Allina Health System of thinking of us again and our students at the Monticello High School. So $500 for the setup to the Change to Chill room for year 2.
That's awesome. That's amazing. It's always so great when people in our community and outside of it can help us with things such as that. So important for kids' mental health these days. It is a resolution.
Therefore, be it resolved by the Monticello School Board number 882 to gratefully accept the following donation. Allina Health System, $500 to set up the Change to Chill room at Monticello High School.
This is Candy, second.
Resolution read by Jennifer Lewis Canigator, second by Candace Carta. All those in favor by roll call. Melissa?
Aye. Yep, aye.
Missy?
Aye.
Jennifer?
Aye.
Candace?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
And Jill. Resolution passes 6-0. We gratefully accept the gifts. Mr. Olson, we are on to number 6, second reading of policies.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and reintroduce us to the first 2 policies at the same time. They are all at second reading, but policy 203.5, the school board agenda, and policy 204, school board meeting minutes. MSBA changes to no current changes. And so those 2 I'd like to just lump together. And then the numbers, policy number 212, there was no recommended changes, but we did bring forth 2 recommendations from our Monticello administration. And the 2 changes that we brought forth were D and F. And D is that the board members are expected to participate in the 3 phases of training provided by MSBA. And F talks about case by case, year by year, scenario by scenario, that we may need to limit the number of board members authorized to attend specific workshops and conventions if the expenses involved warrant such limitations. So those 2 were provided by Monticello Administration and Policy Committee as we looked at these policies through both the policy work and first review. Then the policy number 531, Pledge of Allegiance. Very minor changes, back to minor changes again by MSBA, but really looking at our some grammar and punctuation things throughout the policy. And then I'm going to let our Director of Human Resources, Bob Wilson, talk about the nepotism policy and just some of the changes that we are bringing forward here on the second reading.
Yes, so good evening. Policy 429, nepotism. We've read this in committee a couple of times and it's been in front of the board members. And our basic purpose in adjusting this policy is to just define a little bit better what a conflict of interest is in the purpose statement, and then to outline who is considered a close family member, which is relative to the nepotism policy. So those were the only 2 changes to that policy. Any questions?
So is a close family member similar to what we would do for leaves and different things, the same kind of in the Minnesota statutes that they talk about?
Yes, it might be a little bit more articulated, but yes.
Okay. Thank you for
Would
that.
you like me to read them to you quickly?
I mean, does anybody else want to hear it? Otherwise, I think I have a good understanding. But if anybody else on the board would like to hear that, we certainly keep it open.
Okay.
Okay. Well, it is an action item.
I move to approve the policies 203.5, 204, 212, 531, and 429 as
Liz Candy, second.
Motion made by Jennifer Lewis Cannigator, second by Candy Carta. All those in favor say aye by roll call. Melissa?
Aye.
Missy?
Aye.
Jennifer?
aye.
I lost everybody. Jennifer, I think you said aye. Candy?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
And Jill, aye. Motion passes 6-0. So we'll continue on. Mr. Olson, education is at a crossroads. Monticello School District will be prepared and ready for the 2021 school year, which is quite a feat right now, considering we don't know what that will look like.
Yeah, so just titled it in a particular way just to make sure that that positivity keeps shining through no matter what we are faced with. But really as I look at the title of this agenda item, it really stems back to the work that the school board did in May and June through the work sessions. So if we remember back to May in the work session, we really looked at how the year ended. So how did year 2019, 2020 end, and what can we learn from that in order to propel us forward? And as we look as we look forward to the future, what we do know is education is either at a crossroads or has been at a crossroads. And so I think it's important for us here tonight in the agenda just to recognize that there is work being done across the community by school board and superintendent as we listen to community stakeholder groups and civic organizations in order to share our story, a little bit about Monticello and where we are, and then a look ahead to the future. So we are at a crossroads, but that's no different than businesses across our community. Businesses are redefining themselves, and education is going to do that same thing. So July is being spent on listening to people and addressing three things. So the things that we are looking at and addressing as a school system is the need for funding to be more consistent, and to address some of the underfunding that has went on throughout the nation, and really how do we address that. And so we have looked, and as we go around to the community stakeholder groups, we've talked about how we have taken care of our finances. The school board has been great stewards of the 2015 rep building bond, and then how we navigate a school system that might be underfunded from state and federal government with some of the federally funded or federally unfunded mandates is critical. Without some of the funding sources, the school district continues to be resourceful. We continue to look at for funding sources that are new, both from MDE and external agencies. And we have done a lot of new things that both benefit the dollars coming in, but also the programming for all students. And that's equity for all students. A lot of the new funding sources that we've brought in as a school district since 2018 are to serve all of our students better. So achievement and integration dollars, $223,000 coming in per year to meet the needs of students in underserved populations, and really targeting goals that meet those populations is very critical for our school district to live by the motto, every kid, every day, by taking those words and putting them into action. Another new funding source that we have been attracted to in the last 2 years, we have been offering for our second year a summer migrant program. So helping a population of people who throughout Tri-County need education for their students and our students. And this has been a way for us to meet the needs of maybe a population that we would consider transient, but oftentimes has connections to our community and family. And that's why they find themselves qualifying under the migrant program, but also being here in our community for a very specific reason. And a lot of times they have family members. And another resource that is connected to equity work that we are doing is connecting new dollars through our American Indian plan, and working with families to better meet the needs and provide experiences for that population of students and families to be college and career ready. Other additional funding sources kind of look at that alternative pathways to education, and how important and critical that is as a community to connect yourselves to the industry and business that relies on our students to come and provide workforce. And so, apprenticeships and on-the-job experience type of situations and paid situations. And we have hired somebody new this year to deliver a brand new experience right in-house. And so instead of having to go to Right Tech for one additional class like this on-the-job experience, we're going to be able to provide this experience here. So it's something new. And then also back pre-2018, we were accessing about $45,000 a year from MDE, and now we have moved that up to close to $200,000 per year in order to provide career and technical programming and looking at growing that field and experience for our students. So we're trying to look at and take care of our own financial situations by adding revenue. And when you add revenue, you're able to either enhance program or add a program that too is a call to equity across the district, and making sure that we're serving all students and living by our model. And the last one is, like Jill reported right at the beginning, is that yes, we are in a pandemic and we don't know exactly what the fall is going to look like. But if we continue to work together and continue to live by our strategic priorities, we will continue to serve and best serve all of our students and families. And that is what we're trying to be prepared to do. Small groups, small little cohorts of teachers are meeting, 28 teachers working to better our distance learning and instruction, so that some great things should come from that group of highly qualified people. And I look forward to seeing how we can better meet the needs if we are in a distance learning situation, or if we are in a hybrid learning situation where we're in school and some days and then not in school other days. This group of teachers is providing great leadership to meet the needs that maybe we didn't deliver in the spring. Although I know we did the best that we can, and that was the best that we could, and I'm very proud. You can always keep improving, and so that's why you bring in a group of a team like this to keep making improvements. And so, yeah, we don't know exactly what the fall is going to look like, but when the governor announces what the state's plan is, we will be able to meet those needs very shortly after. And so we'll continue to talk about that timeline. A timeline went out to the families today so that we can continue to try to keep communication high. And it's right now you're in that limbo of trying to keep communication high, but you really don't have anything new to report. So it's important for all of us to be messengers of that message to try to bring down anxiety. I could really feel in the last week and a half there is a feeling throughout the community of people having their anxiety raised. It's usually you're buying supplies right now, and when you go to a store, you don't really buy supplies yet because you're not sure what supplies you'll need, because you're not sure the direction that the school systems are going to take across the state. So I think it's important to know that no matter, we are at a crossroads, and that's the message, but we are going to deliver the best educational system within our strategic priorities of teaching and learning being a focus area, creating a safe and healthy culture, collaborative connections, and also keeping innovation and leadership at the utmost high, and making sure that we rely on the strengths of all to continue to grow our organization. So we are at a crossroads, but that doesn't scare me. It only excites me for what we are going to be and continue to be as it is.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Olson. Let me get back to our agenda, and I apparently lost the agenda. I opened up your PowerPoint, Mr. Olson, so I could follow along. And okay, I believe Tina was up next. Accurate?
Yeah.
Okay, it's all you, Tina.
All right, let's see. Can I share my screen, and do I have to be the host? Jill?
You should be good, Tina.
Okay. So, I will find it. There it is. Oh, can you see it, or is it small? I
think that looks good.
I can see it.
Okay.
Looks good, Tina.
Well,
Mhm.
I didn't want to go into much of the handouts. So our 10-year plan, each school has to approve a 10-year plan. That's one of the requirements of this revenue stream called long-term facility maintenance revenue. That was approved by the legislator about 4 years ago during the legislative session, right around the time we were before our 2015 levy campaign. And this funding source is really to give us money for projects that prevent further erosion of our buildings, roofs, parking lots, structure of the building, anything that's connected to the building, lockers, floors, ceiling lights, etc. And so part of the plan, you have to make sure that it's an affordable plan. It can't be a wish list. So in the past, every project was probably listed in our plan, It wasn't really scaled down to what's affordable with what we have. We did do two long-term facility maintenance bonds early on in 2015 and 2016 to kind of do a lot of past due projects and coordinate them with our bond referendum that was happening at the same time. So a lot of our long-term revenue money coming in is covering those bond payments, but we still have some money that's ongoing that will help with projects, and a little bit of that bond money left in our Fund 6 to help with those projects. And a couple months ago, I really scaled down our 10-year plan to make it what can we afford type of a plan. And the state kind of updated their forms this year, which is on the bottom. It shows, got a lot of screens up. Uh-oh. There you go. You're supposed to put in like the starting fund balance. And I might have to reopen it again. You're supposed to put in the fund balance and what's the revenue coming in and what's the expenses coming out to make sure that it is an affordable plan. So I did that, and that was part of that spreadsheet, but it kind of quit on me. But I can go pop it up again if you like. But so there's not a lot of projects that we can do besides some roofing projects and some parking lot improvements, turf maintenance, minor roof repairs at the other buildings to kind of use what we have left. And I also had a detailed project listing for the board to see that the state wanted as well, I think, as part of another requirement for our 10-year plan. So I'm not sure if you had any other questions based on what's being presented through that 10-year plan. But it is an action item.
Does anybody have any questions? I think as always, Tina, we appreciate all your work that you put into this because it provides us with a lot of information on how we're going to move forward. So that all being said, this is an action item as Tina had stated.
I move to approve the 10-year facilities maintenance plan as Tina presented.
Second, this is Missy.
By Jennifer Lewis Canigator, second by Missy Hansen. All those in favor say aye by roll call. Melissa?
Aye.
Missy?
Aye.
Jennifer?
Aye.
Candace?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
And Jill, aye. Motion passes 6-0. And now we can call for an adjournment prior to going into our work session, which is an action item.
So moved. This is Melissa.
Second, this is Candy.
Motion made by Melissa Curtis, second by Candace Carta. All those in favor by roll call. Missy or Melissa?
Aye.
Missy?
Aye.
Jennifer?
Aye.
Candace?
Aye.
Jeff?
Aye.
And Jill, aye. Motion to adjourn at 6:24 passes. All right, we'll see you on the other WebEx link.
Mhm.